Gabriel Environmental Rescue will dramatically reduce methane leaking from oil field gas flaring and from dairy and cattle farms. Research shows oil field flaring emits nearly 5 times more methane than expected. Flares are designed to eliminate at least 98% of the methane that passes through them, and that is the default amount used when estimating the emissions they create. But that assumption had not been rigorously tested in the real world. In 2021, researchers took more than 12 flights to test the emissions produced by flaring across the 3 major U.S. oil and gas producing areas: the Bakken Formation in North Dakota and Montana, the Permian Basin and Eagle Ford Shale in Texas and New Mexico. These 3 areas are responsible for about 98% of all U.S. gas flaring at this time. The group sampled more than 300 individual flares and took over 600 readings. This represents a significant increase in the amount of real-world data from these sources. They found that flaring in these locations only converted about 91% of the methane released from oil field gas flaring. Gas flares are made under high pressure, and up to 10% of the methane is being released unburnt into the atmosphere. Gabriel Environmental Rescue will eliminate methane leaking from oil field gas flaring by the same amount as pulling nearly 3 million cars off the road, according to the science study. It isn't shocking to see these results, says Rob Jackson, professor of Earth System Science at Stanford University. John Goldstein, the Senior Director, Regulatory and Legislative Affairs at the Environmental Defense Fund, says he hopes this new information will encourage the Biden administration to adopt more regulations on the practice, as it weighs a new rule to force oil and gas companies to clean up their methane pollution. The U.S. is in the top 5 countries in the world for how much its fossil fuel industry flares. Gabriel Environmental Rescue, God-given innovations and technologies to combat climate change and save the world.